Hello everyone. Today's video is about fake Sandisk SD cards. Now the only reason why I know this one is a fake is because I actually bought two. I'm going to compare this to a real Sandisk SD card so you can see the differences and know what to look out for. If you're wondering what these SD cards actually are, they're just 32GB SD cards reprogrammed to show as 128GB. If you're wondering how I found that out, it's because I ran these cards through H2TestW, and they only registered as 32GB of usable data.
Correction during editing. It turns out that one of these SD cards is actually 64GB. As you can see, there's roughly 60GB of usable data, while the rest of this data will be lost by the time this test is over.
Before I continue, I should note that this 128GB card is the fake one, while this 32GB card is the real one. Now the packaging itself is very solid. There's almost nothing wrong with the packaging, and even searching up the barcode will bring up a 128GB Sandisk SD card. But there's one key giveaway here, and it's the thickness of the card. This is hard to show on camera, but it feels flimsy, is the best way I can describe it. To try to prove my point, I'm going to fold this card in half. This is the fake one. Notice how it completely folds in half, and now I have access to the SD card. Now with the real one, if I try to fold it in half, notice that the cardboard doesn't crack and give me access to the SD card. You actually have to fight the cardboard in order to get access to the SD card. This is true for most SD cards. Oh my god, this is putting up a real fight. I'll just fast forward it or something. Oh my god, I got it out. Holy crap, I mangled that. But yeah, this is the real SD card. And that's the aftermath of how I tried to get it out. Now I bought another SD card just to prove my point here. And if I try to fold it, notice it bends and doesn't snap in half. Actually, it kind of does, but it's still putting up a fight. It doesn't just bend in half and give me immediate access to the SD card. And with that, the SD card is free. Now that the fake card is out, I'm going to compare it with the real one. This is the real one that I'm shaking. I think Sandisk has multiple packaging types, so I wouldn't look too deep into this part. As you can see, there's no plastic wrap holding the SD card in place, the fake one that is, and I can just push it out of the packaging, like that. Now the SD card print itself is actually very solid. There's not much to talk about in print quality. And if you compare the back, the fake one is made in Taiwan, looks like that, while the real one looks like this and is made in China. Now I'm not saying all Taiwanese SD cards are fake, but that's what I've seen with my fake one.
I compared the fake to every other Sandisk SD card that I own, and the Sandisk logo is printed in more of a red-orange on the fake, while the rest of them are printed in like a red-pink. There's a much more noticeable difference on the back. The text is printed landscape on the fake, while the rest of them are printed vertical, and I actually do have a Taiwanese SD card that I believe is real.
Now comparing a real adapter to a fake adapter is where the fake one falls apart. As you can see on my right here, the real adapter has very solid print quality, while the fake one is not as clear. Notice how the edges are more blurred on the fake, while the real one has very solid edges. Also, the construction of the adapter is different. While this one is a solid piece in the front, you can see that this part has a ledge and is two pieces. Now comparing the back, there's nothing on the fake, while on the real one there's a production date and where it's made. That's about it for the adapter, but it's a pretty big difference in my opinion.
I noticed this part later, but the fake has a more curved opening for the SD card, while the real one has a more flat opening for the SD card. Additionally, inserting an SD card on a real adapter is much more easy, while on the fake adapter there's much more resistance and you really have to use more force to push the SD card in. Again, I took out all my SD card adapters to compare, and all the real ones have a production date and where they're made. Unfortunately, I don't have any SD card adapters past 2018, so if any of you could leave a comment and say this is also the case for any more recent cards, that would be appreciated. I think if you know what to look out for in a fake SD card adapter, they're pretty easily spottable. In this example, it's in the bottom center. In summary, the three main ways of telling a fake SD card is 1. The package quality, 2. The SD card color and text orientation, and 3. The adapter quality. Of course, you can also run the SD card through H2 Test W or some other software to test its true capacity. I hope some of you found this video helpful, and I thank you all for watching.